Alright, so T20, Tier 8 game on Mountain Pass. You are the south spawn. There's 2 big already on both teams. Since you're not in a top tier tank and you're in a medium tank, like the best place to play, in my opinion, is around this area right here, because it allows you to support your tanks that go up here, right, to keep these guys from flanking. But you're in a relatively safe position. You can't get shot from over here. You're already safe. You know, they can't just push into you and bully you, sort of situation. So I think that that's a good place for like a mid-tier medium to go. I mean, they have pretty much the same comp as you. You've got more tank destroyers, which sometimes can be a little campy, but a lot of that depends on where they're going. The JP is going down there, which is not super helpful, but whatevs. Oh, and your Tiger 2 is going down there. A lot of heavies go down this way, though. Usually, I don't know, I just don't find that the ice road's really that effective to push on either side. And then you want to usually, especially if you're going to cross, you want to play that back wall. You can play this front wall right here, but you have to remember that you can get hit by arty right there. And they've also added a ditch to the back. See how that T-29 is like submerged down there? And so you kind of have to be, you don't get nearly as good of shots as you used to. Your bulldog that went in got killed, which is unfortunate, but. Lol. It's a trap! Be careful, because that could be you. And so depending on where their artillery set up, they can splash this bush. So you gotta, or tree. So you gotta be a little bit careful there. They've pushed in on this side, which is interesting. You can actually go over here and probably get down and help these guys, because these guys are in a bad position right here. This T-69, T-44, WZ-131, but there's no pressure on them really. And you've sent nothing over here, so that's something that you need to be wary about. Your Tiger 1 and your Centurion 1 are going there, but it's a little late in the day to be crossing over on that side, depending on how passive their team was. And it looks like their team is being relatively passive as well. They got some guys still over there, they got some guys over there. Your 3002M was allowed to just drive across the street there. And then you want to be very careful, because you don't control this southwest, right? So if they control this ridge as you push across here, you're going to be in a bad position. You're better off literally just pushing into the backs of these guys if you can. And so you're in a dangerous position, because if this 3485 comes over here, he's got free shots on you. Where you're going is good though, this is a good flank, but just keep in mind that you could have done the same flank from this side, because you know how your guy pushed across the bridge. You could have just come over here and just been completely safe in the whole way here. It's a trap! Oh no! It's a trap! Gotta shoot that drive wheel. It's good though. Get that 131 down. That will help your team. Oh, take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Enemy armor is destroyed. And that super person is pushing in behind you, so you should actually turn around and see if you can help your Panther 88, because he's in the bowl, or mostly in the bowl. See, pushing up here doesn't really help your guys that much, because these guys don't. It's not like they have to completely reposition to account for you. See, this guy's going to start driving across though, and that's going to create a problem. You probably just load gold, kill the IS-3. That's why you have 15 APCRs. Because you'd much rather... Okay, good, somebody got him down. You want to take that gun out, especially that high tier gun, if you can do it without risking yourself. It's a trap! We didn't even scratch them. It's a nice track, but you need to get damage on this guy, because this guy's gonna come up behind you soon. Enemy vehicle destroyed. So then turn around and get ready to do the same thing. He's gonna have a pretty good hull down over there, so that's gonna be tough. No, you can shoot his. You could have shot his hull there. You still can't shoot his hull. I mean, go for that port. Take the shot. Take the shot to kill him. Take the shot to kill him. It's more important to kill him. You don't want to waste time. Alright, so this Super Pershing is probably still in the bowl someplace.
It's a trap!
Nice shot by the Tiger 2. So you need to go back to your base. And so you should be able to bully at 3485. All you need to do is just stay close to the walls here.
It's a trap!
Lol. You don't need to get any closer to him. Getting closer to him actually helps him because he's got a derp gun and hurts you. The closer that you get to him. And then I would probably go up through your cap area because you don't know exactly where that Super Pershing is. And then just remember your Tiger 2 is one shot, so you need to be careful. And then you're pretty safe all the way up until you hit this ramp area. So you don't want to create an engagement right there if he's there. You want to create an engagement either further back or further up. So you don't need to peek around here. Go up to the top there. You can do the same thing and be much safer. Like where you're at, I mean, it's okay to spot him, but you'll from up here you can actually spot further, like through this entire area right there, and still be relatively safe, because the Super Pershing wouldn't be able to direct fire you, etc., etc., etc. And so whenever you have that opportunity,
It's a trap!
now see how now you're pulling back. See, now is when you should be pushing forward. Against that 3485, you should have been pulling back. Against this Super Pershing, you needed to be pushing forward. Because you want to be able to get to this guy's flank. Push forward! 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 You're like angling his armor for him. And so pushing forward does a number of things. Not only does it allow you to get to his flank, but it turret breaks him so that your Tiger 2 can then shoot at the Super Pershing, ideally without, you know, much threat of return fire. And then once again, you can still go high up on this hill and shoot down on that guy. Lol. No, he's giving you side. He's giving you side. And see how he's closing the gap to you? That's to your advantage. You always want to try to close that gap to try to get the shot.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Good job. Not so good. So that happens though. But yeah, so my main thing is that you should play this area a little bit more in that situation, especially when you know the Super Pershing is going to come over here. It allows you to light, figure out where he's at from relative safety, and then decide how to attack. From where you went was fine. Like when you pushed in over at this 3485, especially once you determine that he's got the derp gun, you don't want to close that gap. You don't want to charge in there against the derp gun, because that gives him an opportunity to actually do some damage. The further away you are, the better. You don't need to be closer to pen. You don't need to be closer to do anything, right? You could have penned that guy from 300 meters. The Super Pershing was the exact opposite. You needed to create a situation where your Tiger 2 was a little bit safer, because your Tiger 2 was one shot. So what you really needed to do was try to push past that Super Pershing, get him to turn, get to a position where you were shooting him in the flank and where he has to turn his turret to address you, which allows your Tiger 2 to get free shots on that Super Pershing. Instead, you sort of backed up slowly there, which is not really that good. But the Super Pershing ended up helping you out, right? Because the Super Pershing ended up pushing forward into you, which is not what you want to do with that Super Pershing. With the Super Pershing, you want to be at a distance, you know, where you can just shoot people and force them to try to snipe your cupola. So that's pretty much what I saw from that. And so if we look at the stats. That's not the right one. There we go. So if you look at the stats, he did 4K damage, which is fantastic in a T20. It's not often that you can do that. Your Tiger 2 did all right, which is better than I thought that he would do for going to that ice road side. Same with the JP2. The JT88 was the guy on the bridge. Your team didn't do too awfully, but unfortunately not quite enough. It wasn't like anyone on their team had a singularly heroic effort. They were just, you know, everybody chipped in a little bit, and that won them the game. Nice try though, GG. I will send you your code through the forums at some point today. I assume that you are on the North American server because you're in K-Bear. Alright, and this next one is a 9.6 game. Sorry, I cannot, the Rodbox T43, I cannot run a 9.6 replay. Just because I do not have the 9.6 client, and the 9.7 client won't run the 9.6 replays. So, sorry. Saws. Alright, and then now we're to Netherprime. Alrighty, let's see, tier 10 game, Arctic region. They've got a lot of heavies. Alright, yeah, so you can play a couple of places. Since they only have one tier 9 arty, you can play in this area to start just to see what if they dump a bunch of mediums in here. Otherwise, you can move forward and get up underneath them. You can also play through this middle area here, which might be the more conservative play. Go here early, because they got a slow-ish team. You can spot what comes across over there. Yeah, depends on where you go. You can go right here, but you don't really get that good of lights from this side. I don't, like, you used to get much better shot, like, see where this 1390 is going? You used to get much better shots over there than you do now. They just changed some of that terrain over there so that you don't really get that good. Just like you don't get very good shots from these sniper decks anymore, but people still go there. This is an interesting play because you're playing into their strengths because they've got some heavies there. And yes, you can hold down, but I don't know that that's necessarily totally worthwhile, especially considering they have an artillery. Then the mouse face is a little bit squishy, but it's not. Oh, you can shoot the side turret. There you go. But the standard APCR is still not going to be like that great against it. But if the mouse gives you side turret, then by all means. GW Tiger is lit, so you don't really have to worry too much about him quite yet. Ideally, your guys are able to get that GW Tiger down. Maybe not. Well, this is an interesting play. I don't know.
It's a trap!
You probably should have tried to shoot drive wheel there instead of the lower glacius. When people give you that angle where they're kind of at like a 45-ish degree angle out, just shoot drive wheel. It'll do damage more often than not, and you'll get the track, and you'll force them to burn a repair kit or sit. Oh my god, bullying the mouse! Bully the mouse! There's a little bit of a depression there that you can sort of be hauled down in. Oh, you did switch to heat. I was gonna say, yeah, you know, at some point you should switch to heat there. Oh, mouse is making a run for it. Mouse on the move. Good job. That was a nice shot. And you know that their GW Tiger's right there, so you're safe as long as you stay on this left side. Shoot the cheek. Oh, I thought that would have gone. Oh, you went back to your... You can shoot the little hat there as well. Shooting the mantlet's not going to be that great. He's giving you that side turret cheek again, so... That was just unfortunate RNG. That shell strayed a little bit high and to the right. You can still shoot his little hat too, don't forget that. A little bit more to your left. Lol. It was like, hey look, there's an E100! Oh. Their GW Tiger is still active as well. You can get one more shot in the E100, and then probably you'll have to bail. You can go back. Your team needs help down there. You should probably quit digging down there. That shot was a little bit low. Yeah, you're gonna really need to go back. I think you should be able to kill him. I think. So, I would just ignore it. You've lost way too much of your base to still be over on this side. And their GW Tiger is still active, so where you're at, you can get GW Tiger still. Yeah, just you needed to go back like a minute ago. It's fine, they only have one on cap. It looks like they're pushing off cap, so that's to your advantage. So you can play even down by where this CDC is at, because that terrain will give you some advantages. Their 50's pushing towards that guy, so he's going to cross right in front of you.
It's a trap!
Go save your guy. Go save him. Oh, he missed the ram. Good job, CDC. Nah, you still gotta push. You still gotta push west. You want to get underneath that guy if at all possible, because he's just gonna kill your CDC otherwise. This is now not a good proposition. I think the T-57 Heavy is reloading now, though, so... Oh, I would take that ram every... So when people go into the water like that, one of the things that you can do, you could have backed up into him, pinned them, because when you're basically half of your tank is submerged underwater, you can't actually fire your gun. So you could have just held that guy up. You could have dunked his head in the toilet and then pooped on him whenever you were ready. You also could have just pinned him in there and let him drown, but either one of them would have been hilarious. So anyways, I mean, I thought you did a really good job. I mean, I think it's difficult to play this area in mediums, especially when you know that they've got a bunch of heavies and you're going to run into a bunch of heavies in this alley. But you traded pretty well. I don't think that this was a great position to play, the sort of alpha position that you started out in. But the second position that you went in was certainly much safer and much more effective. And then you probably didn't need to waste time killing the E100. You still had some teammates alive when their guys were coming in through this pincer over here. So you could have come back and you could have killed that T-44 and that 1390 or whatever it was. It was another light tank that was over here. You could have killed those guys pretty easily, and that would have made it more difficult for your guys over here to get wrecked at that end. They were pushing down here anyway, so you're going to need to go back no matter what. That E100 wasn't going to affect anything as long as you pushed out away from there. Their waffle, I'm sure, didn't get a whole lot done unless he's being magically effective over on this side earlier. I think he got most of his damage once his heavies in front of him died, which is not really how you want to play the game. But yeah, I think that was the whole thing, though. I think I really felt like you should have been looking at that map and going, man, I got to go back when you were killing that E100. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't think that team was super savable unless their team pushed in pretty foolishly, because like that T-57 Heavy was still pretty much full health, and that's going to be difficult for you to beat at that range that he ended up in a T-62. Alright, so if we look at the stats, wait, that's not the stats. That's the stats. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, you did 6K. Oh, I want to see how much their waffle did. Oh man, look at their waffle. 3 for 12, 800 damage. Just hiding in the back. Yeah, unfortunately your lights didn't get a whole lot done there either, which is always somewhat painful, especially since these are, these tier 8 lights are weighted as 9s. So you want them to do a little bit more. I mean, I guess most of your team didn't do too bad outside of those lights, though. Yeah, that was going to be a tough one for you to pull out on your own. But I think whenever you look at these matches, you always have to think of not necessarily what would have won the game, because I'm not entirely sure that even going back earlier would have won you the game per se, but what's the right thing to do? And I think the right thing to do was to go back to try to save those guys, try to save your base. But GG, nice try. A little bit too many bounces on the mouse, but with the medium, actually the mouse you did fine. It was more the 205B, which was a problem in my opinion. But GG, nice try. Yeah, you can submit EU replays. I have no problem with EU replays. I just can't give EU guys codes because the codes don't work on the EU server. Yeah, it's really just one of those things you just kind of have to keep an eye on your team. because you were, I mean, you know, it's easy to get fixated on, okay, well, you know, I gotta, you know, I'm shooting at this mouse, I'm trying to avoid him shooting at me, I'm shooting at this 215B, I'm trying to avoid him shooting at me, but you still got to be able to glance down at the minimap like every 30 seconds or something like that, just to get an idea of, are we gonna win over there? Are we gonna lose over there? And you had a lot of time where if you just glanced down, you know, every twice a minute, where you would have recognized that you were losing that side, and something needed to give. Yeah, we can do 9.7 replays. Yeah, I just got through the replays. There were only 2 of them because we didn't get a whole lot of links. So I'll take 1 or 2 more. Let's see if we can get some good ones. So if you have a replay from either 9.7 or 9.8, go ahead and link it now, and I will check it out. Yeah, I mean, the E100, you know, given his positioning, because the E100 was in a place where he could get hit by Artie really easily, so it's difficult to look at that and be like, oh yeah, that guy's going to be smart enough to push through the back as soon as I leave. And one of the nice things about mediums is that you have the speed advantage, so, you know, as long as you're moving forward, that E100 is never going to catch up to you. Alright guys, that's enough links for the moment. Let me get through these and I will get back to you. Probably I'm going to do like 1 or 2 more. Alright, Kadiscus, I got it. I'll check it out. Alright, we'll start with this Patton replay on Lakeville. Man, Lakeville encounter. 1 tier 10 on each side. You've got a slightly faster comp, but that doesn't really make that much of a difference. So you can play middle-ish. I usually don't, especially on encounter, don't drive too far to the south. There's a bunch of bushes right here that are really easy for your light tanks to get to, that will spot through them really easily. So normally, if I'm in a mid-high tier medium, what I'll do is I'll drive out up here because it allows you to shoot through the middle. It also allows you to relocate to the town as needed. And a lot of it is dependent on what your team does, though, as well. So it looks like you are playing mid, which it can be done. Looks like, see how where your T-71 is going? He's potentially, no, he's not gonna, maybe he's gonna spot. He's gonna yellow, looks like. No, hang on a second. For some reason, I'm not actually streaming this. Un momento. Let's try that again. Yes, you're supposed to use your imagination. Oh my god, guys. Come on, guys. There we go. Now it's gone. So anyways, where that T-71 is going, you can potentially spot, but it looks like he's just going to do the YOLO, which means that you'll get shots into this area. So just sit on this hill right there, and you can get shots. See where that Tiger 2 is at. You don't need to keep moving forward, because as you move forward, you're going to start getting lit when you fire, so you want to be a little bit careful there.
Critical hit.
That Kern is still where you can shoot him.
Penetration.
See how they push through the middle? See where your T-71 is over there? It's sort of in the right place, whether inadvertently or not. They've got some guys in the middle, and as you get over here, you can shoot at these guys over here. Like that 1375 can't actually hide anywhere. But luckily, they're not being too aggressive on their side. You've got way too much weight over here. You need to get a little bit more weight over on this town side. Lol, their E100 went valley. Even better.
Enemy is hit. Enemy on fire.
He's tracked out there.
Penetration.
Lol, the double fire.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Oh, you could have taken that shot. Yeah, between there. Oh, he's turning. V-sad. I would have taken that shot anyway.
Enemy armor is damaged.
So they've pushed some of their heavies through that top line, which is fine. If you push forward, you can get more shots on the back of this guy. You can expose yourself a little bit, but it'll be worth it. Oh, he's turning towards your 5100 right now. You need to probably just get over there at this point. Either that or push that T-34-2 on this side. Your E100 has been pretty your E100 has been pretty useless back here, unfortunately. He'll push forward. Good job. Nice shot. Bully, bully, bully. Bully. 5100 is coming over to your side, so watch out.
It's a trap. Critical hit.
Oh man. Bully.
Penetration.
Don't back up too much, because see how like this guy can shoot you right there. The profit to that is that you can shoot him. So your E100. This is a bad sign. Whenever you're hanging out with this E100, that's probably a bad thing, because I don't think this E100 is a very good player. That shot just dove a little bit. I say as the E100 just daps their JT. I would push forward if you can. I mean, you're not. The problem with playing this this center area is that you get some good shots into town, but if everybody in town is dead, you're not really gonna get a whole lot.
They're knocked out.
Lol.
It's a trap.
You need to try to get to the back of the town if you can. The E100 should be able to hold that center line.
It's a trap.
This guy's a bot. Just... You can kill him.
Enemy is hit.
Well, you should, yeah, drive up through there. There's no... You didn't need to let him shoot you.
They're knocked out.
You shouldn't give bots good stats like that. Okay, push through towards the back of their cap. Well, the back of the cap, I guess it's not their cap. Well, technically you could argue it's their cap because they own it.
Penetration.
No, drive through the back. You've got an advantage. Just take care of it, because eventually they're going to come up on the side of this E100. So what you want to be able to do is at least clear off the cap, so that as these guys push north through here, that you can get shots on them. Right, you know the 5100 is one shot. The Tiger 2.
Critical hit.
You've still got time, so it's not like a real concern from the timer point of view. But you still want to keep moving up this way. You'll still be able to get shots on that 5120 if he gets lit. But if he doesn't, then you still want to be able to clear out the back of this cap. You want to bully here before too much of their weight gets forward. Now is when you can sit here and just help your 5100. No, shoot the E100. It's the bigger threat to him. The 5120 isn't really shooting him that much. I would focus on that E100. No, you can get the E100 is one shot. Ah, shoot it! Yeah, there you go. 1390. 1390. He's. Oh, your guy's on fire. He's burning down. Oh no. Just keep pushing forward. You can still clear this side. And you've got the biggest threat down. If you can, shoot the 5100 first. Oh, he's going to be around here. Okay? He's obviously still on the cap, so there he is. Nice work. Man, I'm entirely sure how you lose this. So what you need to be able to do is spot this 5120 before he's able to get out. And if you want, you could, well, you could just like go to this corner here, right? Because the 1375 can't really jump you. The 1390 theoretically could. You don't want to be anywhere where you can get shot from the middle. Because that's your kryptonite. Because that's where the 5120 is.
It's a trap.
And you can aim that a little bit more, right? Because you see how you poked out there? There wasn't a whole lot for you to get shot from by the 5120. You just want to avoid any close-up encounters right now. Like, you want to spot things. Oh, you need to take your time with that shot.
We've lost the track. Enemy is hit. Let's roll. Enemy armor
Good job. Just stay behind this house.
ready to fire. Penetration. We've lost some ammo, but at least it didn't explode.
No, don't drive out there! Don't drive out there!
We're dead for.
This, the only way he could have possibly come from was from out there. Yeah, so again, I think what you want to do in that situation, especially when you're up against 3 autoloaders like that, you want to control the distance of the engagement. Like that 1390 actually kind of helped you out by pushing in ahead of everybody else, because it allowed you to deal with him individually. And then everyone else kind of came in a line. But you just have to sort of remember where everything's at. I felt like we were probably a little bit too stagnant in the middle in the early game. And then in the mid game, it was fine. Your team could have used you over in this cap area. You might not have lost it if you and or the E100 were over in this area. You guys might have been able to save that. I think pushing through at the time was the right choice. You need to push through. Killing the low is fine. And then get to the back where you can support where your E100 is at. You always want to be able to support your teammates' play or protect them somehow if you can, and that's what you tried to do with that E100, who probably didn't get a whole lot done, but despite being the second to the last person to die, it's still important for you to utilize his spots, his basically his ability to be a threat as the only tier 10 on the team, to hold people in place while you can shoot at them. Otherwise, I mean, I thought that push through the back play was fine. I really felt like you still could have won that, like even against a 1390, 1375, 5120. Just if you controlled that engagement differently, like you could have. Like I felt like you really could have won that. Alright, so if we look at this... Oop, that was trying to look at the stats, hang on. So if we look at the stats, he did 8.6k damage, which is good. Your E100 eventually did 3k damage. Well, that's better than I thought he would do. Their E100 that went Valley did almost 5k damage. Man, just rewarding the Valley play. So sad. Yeah, just probably a little bit too static in the middle in the early game. You lost a lot of tanks on that east that you probably could have been able to save. But otherwise, nice try. GG. 23 of 37 is not that great, but considering the engagement range that you're at, that's kind of to be expected. Alright, anyhow, are you on the NA server? If so, I can send you I will send you a message through the official forums with your code. Alright, the next game is an M103 game on Malinovka in 9.7. Was that an EU replay? Sorry, unfortunately the codes that Wargaming gave me only work for the NA server. So thank you for contributing to replay reviews. It's that's your reward. Alrighty, so M103 Malinovka, you're in a platoon, tier 9s. They got 2 E100s. They don't have a whole lot of speed. I would push hill on this one. Let's see what your team does. They do have 2 big already, but especially from the south side, assuming equal speed, you have a slight advantage to get to the windmill. So if you can, then you do.
Roll out.
So they sent an LTTB through the middle.
It's a trap!
It's fine. You're far enough out that the only thing that you can get hit by would be artillery. So you don't want to drive in a straight line when you get lit like that. You want to turn as much as you can and make yourself a not so easy target. Looks like your PTA is going hill, which is good. So you should push up there as quickly as you can. Unfortunately, your base campers are all probably going to die. Eventually, anyways. That's why I don't really think that it's that useful to hang out in either base. Like, you guys saw that game earlier that we had on Malinovka when I was in the JBE 100. Just they left a bunch of guys in their base and they just got rollful stomped because of it. Whenever you had to fight a tiered defense like that, where you got to fight a couple guys over here and then everyone behind them can't help, and then you got to fight a couple guys over here and everyone behind them can't help. That's to the advantage of the offense, not the defense, when you have a tiered defense like that. This is good. Looks like your platoon is coming up here. You got an E50 coming up here as well. It's a good sign. Unfortunately, you're taking heavy losses in the base because those guys they're not going to be able to be saved. You don't have anybody playing this 8 line, which is somewhat disconcerting because you've got this huge vision gap through this area right here, right now. But there's not a whole lot that you can do about that in M103. And so if at all possible, you always want to go around that side of the lighthouse because we don't know what else is going to be behind this guy quite yet.
It's a trap!
Yeah, presumably there's something else. Because I don't think that E100 let you in. It's got to be something else that let you in. But yeah, once you get into this position, you can start shooting at these guys over there. And that's the nice thing about these bushes that are, 2 rows in front of you, is that you get a lot of easy shots through here. And so you see this happen a lot. And see how they're sort of perseverating back there? That's to your advantage. Get as many shots as you can. You want to make them think twice. Psycher, there you go. You want to make them think twice. You want to keep them pinned back there. So like if you can track this E100, a track shot would be great on it. Because the more that they're stuck in here, right? This is a kill box right here. The more that you keep them stuck in there, the better you're going to do. And as long as they're willing to sit in that kill box, I mean, by all means, let them hang themselves. Alright, now you're gonna want to start backing up just a little bit because they're getting close enough to where they're almost gonna be able to spot you. No, aim a little lower, lower glacius. Always lower glacius. And right now that E75 is the biggest concern. This guy right here, because he's the guy with cover. That was a valiant effort. Your E75 is a little bit exposed. I would, yeah, still shoot that same area. That's all you really have. Go ahead. Good job. And then so, again, I'll point out, see how you've basically sat here for the past 3 minutes, and you've gotten free shots, and what do they get out of this? I mean, they were able to kill a lot of your guys on this lower plateau because a lot of your guys on that lower plateau were peeking and poking, but you've got to sit here in relative safety this whole time shooting them. See if you can shoot lower, because he might not be covered by the... You already should also have a field day. Okay, and then now is probably the time where you need to actually start pushing back. Theoretically, that E75 should go down eventually. And of course your base guys are being base guys.
It's a trap!
Armor is hit. Target
Now push forward, and bully.
Target acquired.
Bully, bully, bully.
Penetration. Target released.
Just go and bully. The lower that you get over here, the less that you're gonna be likely to get shot from over there. Don't pursue him though. No, it's not worth it to pursue him. Just go back down and make sure that you can get back towards your base. You can also use these rocks for cover there. You can get out this way a little bit because you can use this for cover. The Leo PTA is not going to be real super aggressive about pushing up behind you. See, you need to push this way. See how you're going to light this guy? You'll get shots on him. You've got shots on him right now. You can shoot this guy right now. Look, shoot him. See, and you're pushing lower and lower and lower, so you're actually taking away from your shots. You can still shoot this guy. You should have shot this guy at least once already. Now he's in a position where he can light you, unfortunately, and that's not so good. You don't want to be lit.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
And this should be an easy reset. Good job. You should push that PTA behind you. There's going to be a PTA that comes behind you. It's only one on cap. You've got Artie up. You've got guys that can light him. I would be more concerned about the... Oh. If you can get the JPE, much better. There, see JPE start. No! Turn! You shot at his gun. All you have to do is just take your time there and shoot at that big fat side. He's giving it to you again. There you go. That's perfect. That's what I'm talking about. I would still worry about that lit PTA. That PTA is gonna come up over on this side. I think he's close to one shot to you. Oh, waffleage. Waffleage. Yeah, so anyways, I don't think pushing to this position was really that helpful, because it wasn't like you were the one lighting the cap, but every time you fired, you got lit, and that really, really hurt. I mean, getting shot by that JPE when you didn't need to. You could have just as, you could have just as easily, hang on, let me restart that real quick so I can get back to there. I forgot to pause it.
It's a trap! It's a trap! It's a trap!
We didn't even scratch them.
It's a trap!
Damn it, I skipped too far forward. All right, anyways, so you can kind of see the mini map in the background. So you did a good job coming up here and clearing this out. They did a bad job of just sitting back, which allowed you to get a lot of good shots. So that's fine. I have no problem with that. I think the mistake that you made, I felt like you could have bullied that PTA a little bit more. But that's okay. He ended up dropping off anyways, which means that he's relatively ineffective. And then you came back, and then all you really needed to do to come back was stop in or somewhere around this area right here, right? And that's going to allow you to do a lot of different things. That's going to still allow you to shoot the cap really easily, and you'll be able to shoot the cap without anybody lighting you, which was the big problem when you came over here. Because as soon as you shot that JPE, you were lit, right? And you make yourself a target to Artie, you make yourself to a target to the PTA, and everybody coming out through the back. The other thing about playing up here is that you can spot this PTA coming in, you can spot this waffle coming in, and you're in a good position where you can just back down this little hill back here. You can back down this hill and be hulled down against them, be relatively protected from Artie from the rock, and still be able to shoot the cap. Whereas the position that you ended up going to, just because of how close you were always going to get lit, which then made you a target for Artie, not to mention the JPE who ended up shooting you in the face, and then also to get flanked by these guys more easily. Whereas you could have spotted them a lot further out. By the time you spotted that waffle, he was in a position where he could shoot you. And when you're not lit, right, if you weren't lit there, that waffle might come in a little bit slower, more cautiously, and give you more time to clear the cap. Because you guys almost had that entire area cleared in time. You just didn't have enough time to turn around and then deal with these guys over here. But that was the only like super big mistake that I saw. Just there was no reason to drive that close to the cap, especially on Malinovka. Both sides, the cap is really defendable. All you got to do is spot it. You still had your Artie up. You know, there were a lot of things that were working to your advantage there, and it's just, you know, you gotta be a little bit more patient there in terms of getting those resets. Alright, so if we look at the stats, did 6k damage, mostly through that bush, which is great. I mean, I think your friend M103 was with you, so between you guys wrecked that hill. Again, a lot of that was because their guys were really passive, right? Look at the guys that were up there: E100, 1700 damage, E100, 600 damage, IS8, 400 damage. You know, these are the guys on the hill, right? And so you at some point you have to, you know, you just have to do it. You either push forward or you fall back. You don't sit in the middle and just get your face constantly pummeled. But that's what they did, and that's to your advantage. I still felt like you could have won this game potentially. It would have been difficult to take on that waffle unless you're already got a good shot on him on the way in. But you certainly could have killed that JPE that was on cap for free. Everybody that M103 then ended up pushing the cap for free. A lot of those guys you could have killed rather easily. It's unfortunate that you lost a couple of your high tier tanks early, and a couple of your high tier tanks were camping in the base, like the FE-183 and the Object 263. Those guys could have really helped out with their guns elsewhere, but them's the breaks. Alrighty though, GG. 15 for 22 is not bad, especially considering you had to snipe at that E75 turret a bit. But that'll happen otherwise. Very nice shooting. Okay, and I'm guessing you're on the EU server. I wish it would say what server these things are from. But if you are not on the if you are on the NA server, then I will send you a code. If you are not, then unfortunately I cannot send you a code, but GG nonetheless.